Here we are. Assalamu alaikum. If you're here now, you might as well just subscribe to the Sacred Brew. My name is Khalid Malik. Assalamu alaikum. There's a lot of questions that have been coming into my DM and a lot of questions that you shared via email. And it's this common thread and theme of falling back into the same, well, cycle, into the same sin. And why is it that happens? And what is a solution moving forward? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أستغفر الله العظيم وأتوب إليه. So there's a question that many people are afraid to ask out loud, but they carry it quietly. Why do I keep going back into the same sin? Why do I keep falling into the same fault lines? Not once, not twice, but again and again and again. And you keep saying to yourself, this is the last time I'm going to watch that porn video. This is the last time I'm going to drink. This is the last time I'm going to do this. This is the last time I'm going to do that. You feel the guilt. You make the intention, and then somehow you find yourself back there. And after a while, it's not even the act that hurts the most, it's what you start believing about yourself. This isn't rare, it's actually very common, more common than you'd like to admit. You see, people are stuck in cycles, habits they can't break, patterns they don't understand, urges they feel they can't control. And because no one talks about it openly, everyone thinks that they're alone, that they're the only one. So what happens? Silence, shame, isolation. And here's the dangerous part. When you keep falling into the same habit, into the same act, into the same sin, into the same fault line, over time the narrative shifts. You stop saying, well, I made a mistake, and you start saying, this is just who I am. I want to offer something a little different. For a moment, let's say that the issue isn't perhaps the act or the sin, maybe it's a cycle. Because most people focus on stopping the behavior, but they never understand what's driving it. So let's break the cycle down. It usually looks like this: the trigger, boredom, loneliness, stress. Urge, there's a pull, there's a thought, a khayal, a feeling, and then the action, the sin itself. And then the aftermath, the guilt and the regret. And then there's this promise to stop. And then it repeats. If you don't interrupt the cycle, you will keep repeating it. Not because you're weak, but because the system is still intact. And this is where many people misunderstand something very important. You're not addicted to the sin. You're attached to what the sin gives you. You're attached to what the act gives you. Ask yourself, what is it that it gives you? Is it an escape? Is it relief? Is it control? Is it distraction? Just honestly ask yourself, what does it give me? Because until you understand that, you'll keep returning to it. I've had the conversations with people who say, I hate this part of myself. And when you sit with that, you realize this isn't just about behavior anymore, it's about identity. They don't feel like they made a mistake, they feel like they are the mistake. And this is where shaitan wins. Not when you sin, but when you lose hope. Because the moment you start believing, I'll never change, you stop trying differently. But I want you to come closer and listen carefully. Allah is not surprised by your struggle. Allah knew. He is Al-Alim. Before you were created, every time you would fall, every time you would return, and still He created you. So, how do we actually begin to break this? Number one, we need to interrupt the trigger, not just the action. Don't wait until you are already deep in it. Catch it earlier. Change your environment, change your state, move your body. Number two, replace. So don't just remove, You can't leave a gap, you see. So you need to replace it. If the sin gave you, for example, an escape, find a healthier escape. Find a healthier escape connection. Find real companionship. Reduce the shame. Increase your awareness. Shame says, I'm broken. Awareness says, I'm in a pattern. And patterns can be changed. And most importantly, return quickly. Don't let it sort of spiral. Don't let that one mistake turn into this downward spiral. Maybe the fact that you keep returning isn't proof that you're weak. Maybe it's proof that you haven't given up. Because every time you feel that pull to come back to Allah, that's rahmah, not failure. You're not the only one fighting something quietly, and you're never beyond change. If this is something you've been struggling with, then this space is for you. This is why I created this space. This is why I felt drawn to perhaps develop this space. And the Sacred Brew is where we have these conversations honestly, without hiding, without holding back. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. I'll see you soon. And if you know someone who's stuck in a cycle, then share this with them and let them know that they're not alone in this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.